Hello and welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. It's been a minute since I've played this, so we're getting back into town after our little excursion. And we have some folks to talk to. So let's start with Handsome Lee. Hey again, care to do business? Well, he's not going to disappear after this, right? I ran into someone with a message for you. Handsome Lee beckons you closer with a languid gesture. I think I can guess. Stephen Dynamite? He coolly raises an eyebrow at you. If you're so smart then, can you guess what his message is? From an avid consumer like Stephen, there's only one possible message. More. Actually, there's two possible messages. The second one goes, my dealer poisoned me. His smile broadens. With the myriad of drugs that Stephen filters through his system, it's almost an honor to be singled out this way. That said, I seriously doubt that I poisoned him. Go ahead, though. Tell me what he wants. This isn't a shakedown. What do you think? He wants his Nuyen back. He straightens abruptly from his elegant slouch and juts his chin out. There is absolutely nothing wrong with my latest creation. It was painstakingly designed to elevate the senses and titillate the spirit, a smooth high that I have indulged in myself. Now, if the unfortunate Stephen happened to dilute my masterpiece with other, lesser substances, I can hardly be held responsible. His tone of finality is unmistakable. You can use all the flowery language you want. I'm not leaving here empty-handed. He stares back at you for a long moment, then reaches into his breast pocket. With a deft motion, he pulls out a small packet and presents it to you. There is no money, not anymore. I have expenses, just as I'm sure that you do. But here, give this to Stephen with my regards. What's in the package? A freebie. It's what our dear Stephen Dynamite really wants, whether he'll admit it or not. Deliver it with my compliments. His brain is pudding already. More drugs won't help him. The dealer regards you steadily. Of course they won't. But they will bring relief. And if I'm not mistaken, that is what Stephen is itching for right now. Itching for right about now. Correct? What good is this temporary fix anyhow? Why bother? Lee acknowledges you with a nod. It's a fair question. Stephen's problems won't be resolved overnight. My little gift simply lets him know that someone cares. His smile widens, and he tilts his head towards you expectantly. The hell it does. It keeps him from getting clean. Lee shrugs dismissively. I seriously doubt that my withholding drugs from Stephen would do anything but hurt my pocketbook. He is not trying to kick his habit. He'd just go to another dealer, so why shouldn't I foster my relationship with the poor man? Anyway, he holds the packet out and towards you and gives it a shake. Take this. Give it to him. It should help him, at least in the short term. Take the drugs for Stephen Dynamite. All right, Lee. I'll take them to him. I don't know if there was another outcome for that. There were other times I could have pushed him more on the money, but I think he's telling the truth that he doesn't have it and wouldn't give it up even if he did. Very good. Please let me know how it goes when you're done. Okay. I think this is just normal bliss. Okay. Okay, so we can go... Wait, do you have more? Okay. We have to talk to... I think it's this fella, right? Or who was it that we were supposed to talk to? I thought there was somebody else we were supposed to talk to, but we'll wander around, I think, and just talk to everybody. Maximum Law surveys the docks from beneath his meticulously patched tarpaulin. Goggled and belted with electronics, his arms folded, his expression stern, a sweat-drenched little king. His boat rocks gently. As you approach, he looks sharply your way and breaks into an awkward smile. Hey, Dragon's Breath, I was hoping you'd come around. You got a minute? What's up? Kindly had Wampoa burn your sin. Word is that you're doing work for her, not normal Yellow Lotus stuff. Law shifts from foot to foot. He fidgets with the hardware on his belt. Shadowrunning. Woman's gotta eat. I'm doing whatever's necessary to feed that need. Wicked. Law says it distinctly in a hushed tone, then seems to catch himself. He draws himself up to his full height. His usual demeanor of self-assurance returns. That's pretty ironclad, Dragon's Breath. Pretty vicious. If you do good, you'll be noticed. Listen, if you've got info about runs, I can make it worth something. We Wampoans called that kind of thing metadata. Wampoa likes to get word on the street, from the active operators. Doesn't Wampoa's service to their clientele include not prying? It's not prying. Law speaks with authority. He thrusts his chest out and puts his hand on his hips. It's gathering information. The world runs on information. If you've got metadata for me, if not, see if I care. Law looks out through the rain, across the rocking boats. He wipes his foggy goggle lenses with a rag from his pocket. His stomach gurgles loudly. What the hell is that noise? Is that just in my headphones, or was that in the recording? That was weird. Tell me if there was a static noise in your right ear, and that right then. Augmented reality goggles aside, this gig gets really boring sometimes. You ever want to talk shop? I'm here. Why is this cut off? This is kind of weird. Whatever, let's try it. Your elders hired a ghoul assassin to... I know! Those piss-drinking, pig-sucking... Law erupts in a torrent of livid, awkward profanity. Some sort of pidgin Cantonese and tech speak. He catches himself short, pulls himself back together, and clenches his fists. You know whose fault this is? She always had it in for Magpie because Magpie was a genius. That turbo-snorting woo-woo idiot and her lackeys almost destroyed the Wampoan network. He folds his arms across his chest. I hope they string the bones of those morons from the gutters with a bunch of monofilament wire from the blessed autofab. Law pauses and looks over at you. I've heard all the rumors, but what's the full story? What do you know? We need to port this data out to the whole tribe. Before I go on, you seem fond of Magpie. Magpie was the best of the bunch. She was a wicked coder and a Nova hot decker, plus she knew the infrastructure. Those of us in Magpie's bus maintain the shadow nets. That's what keeps Wampoa independent. Now we've lost Magpie and half of the other elders. All that skill base is gone. All because got a bunch of cruft in her boards. It was her fault, I'm telling you. Tell Maximum Law the whole story. He listens in prolonged silence as you lay it all out. When you're done, he shakes himself, as if awaking from a bad dream. Whoa. Law seems stunned. For real? Man, this is gonna go down in tribal lore, Dragon's Breath. Here, this is a cred stick I keep on hand for when people have special information. Take it, you've earned it. I kinda want to think now, and share files. I think I should just sell him the SimSense chip. Take it off your hands for 120. Alright. Sure, I'll take it. Hope it finds a good home. Well, yeah, I'll sample it first. But these cowhots can send you for a trip. Don't worry, I can handle my Sims. Alright. I don't remember exactly what was here before, so I don't know if he got new gear. It looks the same to me, though, at a glance, though. Alright. You gotta go? Okay, watch your back and shoot straight and all. Law grins at you and dexterously flashes a hand using a hand sign that Shadowrunners give each other in holovid shows. I got things to do, too. Oh, he's such a nerd. He's grown on me a little bit. He was a little bit, you know, first impressions and all, especially under the circumstances, are a little bit, rougher. Let's see. You got anything new, Ambrose? Or, gotta click on you again. Hey, my fellow countrywoman returns. You want some chips and dip? Help yourself, it's on the engine block. A spider drone walks past you, carrying a biohazard bag with a severed arm in it. There's a big Sahara Combat League race tonight. Everybody's coming over. You want to come? Nah, I bet Kindly's keeping you busy. You're from the UCAS Midwest. How'd you land in Hong Kong? Ambrose bites one of his nails and regards you with a hint of suspicion. Well, that's a long story, and kind of personal. It involves some jobs, a girl, a real good reason to leave Chicago, a whole shit ton of guns and money. Hong Kong seems like a long way to go just to get a break from Chicago. Ambrose smiles, but there's a steely look in his eyes. Sometimes a guy just needs a change of scene. Guns and money were involved? Sounds like a good story. Shadowrunning? Yeah, stuff like that. Ambrose smiles. He seems to warm up a little. I was a hardcore vehicle rigger back then, before Johnny Law cracked down on road rigs. Man, those were the cowboy days. Freaky as hell, but great to remember. Ambrose gets a wistful look on his face. We'd rebuild trucks and chop shops, reinforce the frames, bolt armor on, mod the suspension with robotics, drive them right through the front windows of buildings, then bash aside Lone Star cruisers on the way out. Good times. You do that in Hong Kong, you get auto barricades and a missile enema. Crying shame. Anyway, I needed to get out of Chi-Town. Spread my wings. Nearby spider drone fidgets. You know how that goes. Chicago. Are you following the news of the quarantine? Ambrose's face darkens. Yeah, I am. It's a terrible thing that happened there. My old hood is inside the containment zone. A lot of good peeps locked behind that wall. Supposedly it's insect spirits, but it's being covered up. I know, I saw the leaked material too. Some of the footage is pretty convincing. Ambrose shakes his head sadly. Megavitus plague, bug spirits. I'm not sure which is more scary. Hell, maybe it's The Walking Dead. Think about it. We've got at least 4 HMHVV variants. I think it's only a matter of time until we get zombies. Ambrose gives a nervous shiver. The nearby robotic arms tremble briefly. I'd take zombies over these bug spirit things, tell you what. So I think, again, that's a reference to the first game. First game? Yeah, I think so. I think it is. Girl was involved in you getting here, huh? Yeah, there was. He shrugs awkwardly as if to make light of it. His voice has a hint of strain in it. That's a story for another day. Hey, it's grand digging up the wreckage of the past, Dragon's Breath, but time's wasting. I left Chicago, I landed in the Kong. After a while of running the Kong Shadows, I landed here, in Chrome Alley. That's really the gist of it. Now we'd better get back to earning a living. Alright. Let's see. I'll take that V8 engine and a box of chocolates. Ambrose bursts out into laughter. I like you. You've got good taste, but that engine is family. Seriously, what do you want? Okay. Yeah, these are all still just the basics. That's fine. Cheers, Dragon's Breath. Talk to you later. Okay. Let me try and see who all is here. We'll leave Steven for a minute. I'm worried that the thing... I mean, it looks like normal bliss, but I'm worried that that was... I don't know. The way that whole interaction was presented felt kind of like he was going to give something to kill the guy off. I'm just watching the door. Okay. You know, I just sort of noticed that this thing... I mean, this thing's... I noticed this thing before, and it's creepy, but it kind of looks like it's supposed to be like balut. It's like a fertilized egg food. I've never had it, and it's, to be frank, sounds incredibly foul to me, but it's some people really like it. I don't... That would be a very weird like thing to make just a giant orb out of, and I don't think anyone's made mention of it, but anyway. Alright, anyone in here got anything new to say? Have we met this person before? I guess not. A wiry elven woman leans over the bar, propped up on one elbow. She glances back at you over her shoulder as you approach, lifting a half-empty glass to her lips. The selection here is total crap, but it's cheap. I hope you're not looking for quality. You're going to be really disappointed. As long as I don't go blind, I don't care. Hey, that's a spirit. With an attitude like that, you won't get disappointed very often. She wraps a knuckle against her glass. I figure as long as it gets you drunk, it's good with me. Call me X-Flow, by the way. X-Flow regards you calmly, her eyes calculating. After a few seconds, she nods. Maybe we can help each other. Well, nice to meet you. I'm Dragon's Breath. I've got good eyes for people in the business, and believe me, you smell like Shadowrunners in Nuyen. Plus, everybody here has been talking about Kindly's new hired help. I'm out here for work. You need any backup? I'm available. What's your specialty? I'm what the eggheads call a mystic adept. Kind of a physical adept magician. I throw spells and I can kill with a touch. I'm rarer than unicorns, my friend. X-Flow lifts her glass, draining the last of it. Cheers. Where are you from, anyway? All over, really. Born and raised in Sydney, but ever since I was 15, I've been traveling anywhere there's work. Not a whole lot of opportunities for a street kid whose only skills relate to beating people up. I've lived in Paris, London, Vladivostok, Caracas. Hell, I even spent a year in Johannesburg, but Azania is full of assholes. Your Cantonese is pretty good. I don't hear an accent. X-Flow taps the base of her neck with 2 fingers. That's because it's chipped. My only concession to cyberware. When you move around as much as I do, linguisofts pay for themselves pretty quickly. They're not perfect, but they get the job done. How'd you get into this life? I grew up on the streets, running with gangs. Turns out if you get in enough street fights and have magical potential, things just naturally express themselves. Once that happened, I realized I could charge a lot more than the production rackets I've been running. Besides, it's not like I know how to do anything else. I've never been to school, I'm sinless. What else am I gonna do? Panhandle for change? Shake down stuffer shacks for beer money? No thanks, mate. I'd rather live fast, hit hard, and burn out. Got any good runner stories? Running a hand through her hair, X-Flow leans back as she thinks. Yeah, I got a couple. There's this one time I signed on with some mercs in Eastern Europe. They had a job to do near Krasnodarsky Cry, lifting some Abkhazian military software. It's a lot of syllables. The plan was pretty simple. We'd halo jump from a drone. Sure, simple always starts with a halo jump. The plan was pretty simple. We'd halo jump from a drone on the Russian side of the border, hike in towards the Abkhazian research facility, and blast our way in. The Abkhaz forces were supposed to be Matrix hotshots, but crap in ground combat. Simple, right? The elf shakes her head, eyes rolling. No plan ever survives first contact with the enemy, though. Turns out the Abkhazian army had contracted out base security to Winter Systems. We started getting cut apart before we'd even breached the first cordon. Did you have to bug out? The Mercs were in pretty dire straits financially. It was do or die. It was a do or die situation for them, literally. They owed too many debts, and if they couldn't deliver, they'd have been killed. So we pushed in. We were down to 5 of us by the time we got into the main facility. One of the Mercs, Vaclav, was a rigger. We were hunkered down in a vehicle bay while the Decker did his business, and Vaclav realized one of the APCs hadn't been properly locked down, and it was still gassed up. Come out of the base with the 30mm cannon blazing away. Our exit was down at the coast, a riverline patrol boat the Mercs had on standby. It was some nervous fighting, but we managed to get out. A bit full of holes, sure, but we survived. And that's what counts, eh? See you later, X-Flow. X-Flow lifts her glass in a salute. See ya. You know how to find me if you need me. Well, I don't know if she's just going to be added to the list of people we can take on a mission as like a generic, or if she's actually going to become a character. But it's kind of fun to have a character who just has stories to tell. Let the writers flex their writing chops a little. The eldest son of the Kafai family appears to be far less inebriated than before, though there is still a drink clutched in his massive hand. He's parting ways with an uncharacteristically awkward elf who palms something as she goes. Evening. Callum Kafai at your service. You forgot me already? Maybe I have. I suppose one of us didn't make much of an impression. I think I liked you better when you were plastered. Well, here's to becoming a better man in your eyes. He takes a drink. Now, you in the market for something? I got Bliss, Jazz, Cram, Nitro, and a dozen other little concoctions that the West doesn't even have names for yet. What'll it be? I'd like to know a little more about you. Me? Why would you want to know about me? I'm nothing. I sling poison to the dregs of Haoi. It's not like I ever wanted anything more than this, right? I can see it on your face. You can probably see it all over mine. What good would an education serve someone like me? Why would I ever consider making something of myself? To go places. Alright, man, the chip on your shoulder is enormous. I barely said anything. Sure, I can fill out a suit like nobody's business, but people see a troll in Armani like they see an organ grinder's monkey. No, this is the place for me. This is where I belong. How many shots does it take to lay out someone your size? I'll let you know if it ever happens. Okay, so he's... Why does this have two different blisses? So he doesn't sell as much as the other fellow, but there has to be some reason for the redundancy. Come on. I don't know why it keeps doing this half-click thing. The Troll Patriarch of Club 88 gently polishes a collection of old wooden belaying pins. These are but a few of the nautical touches that struggle vainly to assert the theme against the club's otherwise glassy neo-punk decor. Back again? Not just another ship passing in the night, eh? You a sailor? Once was, a long time ago, but now I'm forever at port. Sounds like you miss it. Do I not strike you as the king of island nightlife? You can take the man out of the ocean, but not the ocean out of the man. Ain't that the truth? So how can I help you? What was it like out on the high seas? Better when I was younger. Things were simpler then, if not terribly profitable. Got my start on fishing trawlers, just barely scraping by. Good folk, though. Over the years, I made a name for myself, as one does. Got more regular work on better crews, eventually earned a spot on a tugboat. Spent the bulk of my years crewing ocean-going tugs for Wu Jing. The big ships, the tankers, the bulkers, the container ships, the seabed miners, are all run by technical crews and computers now. On the smaller merchant boats, there's still a little seafaring left, but not much. But on the tugs, the supply boats, the salvage craft, that's where there's still a place for old-time sailors. It matters if you can wrap a cable on the winch in 30-foot seas, jury-rig a diesel engine, and keep a boat on course with just the wheel and the binnacle after the bridge windows all blow out. It was a hard life, but good. Why the change of vocation? Why does a man give up drinking or sell his trike or throw out his porn collection? For a woman, of course. And I had me one hell of a woman. Still do. This place is her dream. A business, a home, for us together. Hard to deny the worth in that, no matter how much I miss what I once had. No, ma'am, no regrets. No regrets at all. That's actually very sweet. So speaking of... It doesn't take a Shadowrunner's eye to tell who runs Club 88. Even the roughest of patrons show deference to the troll woman in the back. It also helps that she tends a veritable arsenal of high-grade firearms. Back again, I see. Didn't catch your name before. To my friends, I'm Dragon's Breath. Would you like to be my friend? Better than the alternative. I'm Ermin Kafai. We get a lot of passers through. After their business with the Dockmen or the Yellow Lotus, they get escorted here to relax and shop. Then they leave. I'm happy to never know their names, but you're a different story, aren't you? What have you heard? Not much, yet. So what can I do for you? Tell me a bit more about this place. Club 88? We bought it 10 years ago. Before that, my husband crewed ships for Wu Jing. He'd be gone for weeks or sometimes months at a time. And I was sick of it. Raising 2 boys on my own? Troll boys? We needed something more stable, and I needed a husband at home. So he retired and we put everything we had saved into this place. The 88 stands for good fortune, and the club has proven worthy of the name. That feels like a death flag, but I'm going to ignore it. If only some people had appreciated that success instead of whining about things that will never be. Yeah, I hope this game doesn't do another of the same thing where towards the end of the game they decide to, have the place you've been be attacked or destroyed. Not a fan of that. Have you heard of a man named Raymond Black? I seem to recall a blurb on the news, but I didn't pay much attention. Not a name I know, and if it was a name worth knowing, I'd know it. And this, I think, is all the same. Yeah, this is all the basics and the smart variants. Okay. So, do we talk to Steven? I mean, I guess so. Steven Dynamite lolls on the sidewalk. While he jerks less as he moves, his skin has taken on a gray hue, and his chest heaves with each labored breath. His sunken eyes swivel towards you. He wets his parched lips and addresses you. Hello, I'm relieved to see you. Thought you might not return. can't trust anyone. This is a bad place. Hey Steve, I hate to say it, but you're not looking so hot. Fat tears begin to cascade down his dirty, ruined face. I don't want to sleep because of these nightmares. I'm ravenous, so ravenous, but food makes me ill. I've got the shakes real bad too. I just want this to end. The junkie slumps in place. Furrowing his brow, he responds with difficulty. Anyway, thanks for talking to that little bastard for me. So you got my money? I don't love this being my only option. I hope this isn't a mistake. Lee didn't have your money. He gave me this to pass off to you instead. The junkie's eyes light up at the sight of the packet from Handsome Lee. Oh. I'm thinking that you might be better off if I held on to it for you. The junkie narrows his eyes at you. A hiss escapes his parched lips. Why would I let you do that? That's Lee's gift to me. Because it isn't a gift. It's a trick to keep you hooked. The man snorts and lifts his chin high. It's not a trick. I know exactly what Lee's offering. I'm not stupid. Could have fooled me. If you're thinking of taking it, you are stupid. A wild look flickers in Stephen's eyes. He bares his teeth and snarls. You just want to keep it for yourself. Can't trust anybody here. Give me my present. The junkie grabs your arm, ready to snatch the packet from your grasp. I don't love being forced to make this decision here and now. I don't like Lee. It's kind of interesting that this option is like it's not actually a strength check. Like it's not I'm gonna go look this up real quick actually, because it's gonna bother me otherwise. Okay. Well, I don't have a clear answer. I'm not sure how this is gonna turn out. I don't like being the facilitator for an asshole like Lee, so I've decided to keep the drugs for myself. The junkie narrows his eyes at you. A hiss escapes his parched lips. Oh. It's going in a loop? Another dose of poison might have you dreaming forever. The junkie shudders. His wide, staring eyes gaze into nothingness and his jaw clenches. The drugs didn't cause the nightmares. I acknowledge that. But I'd do anything to avoid the nightmares. Do drugs make me worse? Probably. The junkie draws himself up a little straighter. Then keep the packet for yourself as my thanks to you. I will. Now let's talk about these dreams of yours. He looks up at you, suddenly suspicious. You want to ask about my dreams? Why? Because I've been having bad dreams too. Maybe we can get to the bottom of them together. He stares you in the eye and his voice drops to a sharp whisper. These aren't like ordinary dreams. They're visions. They're so real. I've put all kinds of substances in my body and I've never experienced anything like this. You were practically raving the last time we talked. Explain your dreams to me again, clearly this time. He nods, his tongue stumbles and he stalls as he speaks. I'm walking through a series of dark, narrow halls. It stinks to high heaven and I run into more people as I move forward. The people are jostling me, but I'm starving like I haven't eaten for days. I just want some food, so I press on. I start seeing children in the crowd. Children with terrible burns, disfigured faces. All these people are grabbing at me. He begins to tremble from head to foot and his eyes bulge. Then I see teeth all around me. I feel the teeth on me. Bathed in sweat from the effort of speaking, he cradles his head in his arms. Okay, Steve, let's talk about the drugs. You said that you're on a lot of them, right? The junkie gives a weary smile. More than I can count. I used to get my kicks from explosives. I loved blowing stuff up. Seeing glass splintering, solid walls disintegrating, flames licking the sky. Not anymore. Now I stick to needles and pills. Hang on, you blew stuff up? I was a bomb maker. I designed custom ordnance. It was a dream job, plus it was very lucrative. He rubs his thumb and forefinger together, then snaps. Megacorps couldn't get enough of the devices I invented. I was too high on my own ego to wonder what they were up to. What were the Megacorps doing then? They were fueling wars. They often managed to sell both sides in conflicts all over the world. Casualties be damned. That's nothing new. War profiteering is as old as war itself. The junkie's face assumes an ashen hue, and the corners of his mouth pull downward. Yes, war. I thought my bombs were used in wars against militias, mercenaries, and armies. I didn't think of them as people. But the weapons I developed got used against civilian targets. The man starts digging his rough fingernails into his palms so hard that tiny crescents of blood stain his palms. I'm from Guizhou. Sichuan has taken over much more of the province, but pockets of resistance remain. These are big political struggles, actions removed from the lives of ordinary people. Yet the village where I grew up in Guizhou was annihilated. Those were tobacco farmers, winemakers, peasants, not military. Tears leak from the man's eyes, tracing narrow lines down his filthy cheeks. I recognize the distinctive patterns, the traces that were left behind. Those were my bombs, used to shatter the landscape of my childhood. Why would Sichuan bother to bomb a village? To break the spirit of the people? It broke mine. The junkie's shoulders heave and shake, and he passes a hand over his face. Now I just want to forget. The drugs help sometimes. When your village was bombed, did you lose anyone that you knew? He meets your gaze with red-rimmed eyes. He throws his arms wide. I knew them all, from the frailest elders to the littlest children. My own family died too. We weren't always close. Pyromaniac inventors don't fit well in agricultural backwaters, but they were my only kin. Okay, Steve. Okay, Steve. I think I'm getting what's going on here. I guess that I must be feeling guilty about the bombs, huh? All of the blood on my hands. I can feel it all the time. Just like bombs, I didn't want anyone to get hurt. He clutches his face, sobbing. How am I ever going to make this go away? How will I live with myself? The drugs help me forget, but he shakes his head, a look of utter hopelessness on his face. Well, you could start by helping some kids or stealing your bomb schematics back. Helping kids, stealing my... The junkie sways mutely in place, gnawing on his chapped lower lip. I wouldn't know where to begin. Need time to think. Children are the future, man. Find a charitable organization and put in some hours, for starters. The man lowers himself into a squat and hugs his knees. His gaze somewhat absent and his cheeks glaze over with tears. There are a couple of shelters where I used to crash when I was less down and out than I am now. There were a lot of families. I could help out. The man pauses, licking his lips, his mouth feeling for the right words. But in the end, I probably need to go home, to Guizhou, when I can bring myself to. I'll tell you what, I'll think about it. He nods eagerly. I'll think real hard. I guess that's the best I could hope for. Best of luck, Steve. Thanks. Well, I don't know if that was quite the transition. That wasn't the narrative I expected to spring up, and I don't know if that's been concluded at that point or not, but that was a lot. All right. Well, we've still got some more of the town to explore, so I think we'll take a brief breather, and we'll come back for that later.